There's a software engineer in Austin making $135,000 a year who ate ramen for dinner last night because his checking account had $247 in it. He's not bad with money. He's not reckless. He doesn't gamble or buy luxury watches. He just ran out of money. Again. And the strangest part, he makes more than 92% of American households. This isn't a story about someone who needs to budget better. This is about something far more invisible and far more common than most people realize. By the end of this video, you'll understand why earning six figures can actually make you poorer than you were 5 years ago, and why the solution has nothing to do with making more money. Let's call him Ryan. He's 32, works in tech, got a promotion last year, makes $135,000. On paper, that sounds like financial security, maybe even wealth. But let's run the actual math. $135,000 gross income. After federal tax, state tax, Social Security, Medicare, Ryan takes home about $92,000. That's around $7,600 a month. Now let's see where it goes. Rent for a one-bedroom in a decent Austin neighborhood, $2,100. He financed a car 2 years ago. Nothing crazy, a Honda Accord. Payment, $520 a month. Insurance, $180. Student loans from his engineering degree, $430. That's $3,230 gone before he's bought groceries. He's got $4,370 left for everything else. Utilities, internet, phone, $250. Groceries and eating out, he's not extravagant, maybe twice a week, $650. Gas, $200. Gym membership, $75. Streaming services, Spotify, iCloud storage, $45. Healthcare premium his employer doesn't cover, $210. We're at $1,430. Down to $2,940. Then there's life. Drinks with coworkers, a weekend trip, new work clothes, a wedding gift, car maintenance, haircuts, coffee a few times a week, another $800, easily. He's got about $2,100 left. And here's where it gets interesting, because Ryan's not living like he makes $135,000. He's living like he makes $135,000. If you've ever looked at your bank account after payday and wondered where it all went, even though you make good money, you're watching Ryan's life in real time. There's a concept in behavioral economics called reference point adjustment. It means that once you start earning more, your brain resets what normal feels like. When Ryan made $75,000 3 years ago, he lived in a smaller apartment with a roommate. He drove a 2014 Civic. He brought lunch from home. Then he got promoted. And without even realizing it, he started making tiny adjustments. A nicer place, because he deserved it after working hard. A newer car, because the old one wasn't reliable anymore. Eating out more, because he didn't have time to cook. None of these decisions felt reckless. Each one in isolation felt reasonable. But here's what happened under the surface. His lifestyle expenses grew at the exact same rate as his income, and sometimes faster. This isn't about being irresponsible. It's about a quiet, invisible recalibration that happens to almost everyone who gets a raise. Economists call it lifestyle inflation. I call it the earnings treadmill. You run faster, the floor moves faster, you stay in the same place. Let's do one more calculation. When Ryan got his promotion, his take-home income went up by about $1,200 a month. If he had kept his old lifestyle, same apartment, same car, same habits, and invested that extra $1,200 every month in a standard index fund, in 10 years, at a conservative 8% annual return, that would be about $220,000. In 20 years, over $700,000. But instead, that $1,200 evaporated into a nicer apartment he barely spends time in and a car that loses value every year. He's not building wealth. He's renting a better version of broke. And here's the part that makes this so hard to escape. Everything around him confirms that this is normal. His coworkers live the same way. His friends live the same way. The algorithm shows him people who live the same way. No one at the office talks about investing $1,200 a month, but everyone talks about where they went for brunch. So Ryan feels fine, until he checks his savings account and realizes he has less now than he did 3 years ago, despite earning 80% more. Now contrast that with someone I know who works in the same industry. Let's call her Maya. Maya makes about the same, $130,000 a year, but she still lives like she makes $80,000. Not because she's cheap, not because she's afraid of enjoying life, but because she decided early on that her lifestyle would never be tied to her income. She kept her old apartment when she got promoted, still drives a 2016 Toyota, packs lunch 4 days a week, and every raise, every bonus, every bit of extra income, it goes straight into her investment account before she even sees it. She doesn't feel deprived. She goes on trips, she eats out, she buys what she wants, but she's not performing wealth. And because of that, she's actually building it. Last year, her net worth crossed $320,000. Ryan's is around $40,000. Most of it the equity in a car that's depreciating. The difference isn't discipline. It's that Maya never let her identity become tied to her salary. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't want to be wealthy. They want to look like they're wealthy. And that's fine, as long as you're honest about the trade-off. You can live in a nice apartment and drive a nice car and go to nice restaurants. Or you can retire early, work less, and never worry about money again. But you probably can't do both. Not because the math doesn't work, but because every dollar you spend to look successful is a dollar that can't be used to become financially free. Ryan's not struggling because he doesn't make enough. He's struggling because he's trying to live up to a lifestyle that his salary can technically afford, but his future can't. The paycheck-to-paycheck trap isn't about income. It's about identity. And once you see that, everything changes. The people who understand this early get to opt out of the race. The ones who don't spend the next 20 years running in place. If this made you think differently about your own spending, consider subscribing. This channel is for people who'd rather build wealth quietly than perform it loudly. I make videos like this every week. No hype, just the reality most people don't want to say out loud. Thanks for watching.